Good evening. Welcome to the Kent County Levy Court business meeting for Tuesday, November 29th, 2022. We're holding this meeting in the Kent County Administrative Complex at 555 Bay Road, Dover, Delaware. Levy Court Chambers Room 203. Before we actually open the business meeting, I'll turn it over to the County Administrator to explain how those can join us by phone and or WebEx.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. Just a brief word of introduction and instructions for our guests who may be joining us via the internet. We are using the WebEx platform, and if you are joining us remotely, we ask that you keep your devices on mute through the meeting. There are opportunities at various points along the agenda for public comment, and we'll ask that you, at that time, if you have public comment you wish to share with the Levy Court, *3 on your mobile phone will raise an electronic hand on our dashboard, and we'll be able to recognize you and invite you to present comments. And if you're on a desktop or laptop, the WebEx platform has a raise hand icon that you can activate or deactivate similarly when you're ready to speak. If you're going to speak during the public hearing item, we will have to swear you in prior to your comments. We ask that you state your name and address for the record. If you're providing comments other than those during public hearing, you will not be required to be sworn in, and the county solicitor will handle the swearing in of any speakers during the public hearing. Mr. President, we are following the Mason's Rules of Order for this meeting, as well as the adopted Levy Court Rules of Procedure for business meetings. Back to you.
Thank you, sir. At this time, we'll call the meeting to order. I'll ask Commissioner Howe to lead us in the invocation, Commissioner Hall to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and a moment of silence for our troops and first responders, Commissioner Sweeney. All rise.
Heavenly Father, we recognize your presence tonight and ask your blessings and guidance in all of our proceedings. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence to honor our military, law enforcement, firefighters, paramedics, and other first responders who have lost their lives in the line of duty, protecting life and home, or fighting for our freedoms. We also specifically honor all first responders and medical staff who have succumbed to COVID-19 virus complications contracted through close interaction with infected patients, losing their lives caring for others. Please remember all of these individuals who died in the line of duty over the last 2 weeks, as well as keeping their families in your thoughts and prayers as they deal with the loss of their loved ones during this holiday season. Police Officer Brandon Sy from the Grand Prairie Police Department, Texas. Marine Interdiction Agent Michael Maceda from the Homeland Security Air and Marine Operations in Florida. Police Officer Jordan Jackson from the Bellevue Police Department, Washington. Deputy Sheriff Christopher Taylor from the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office in Florida. K-9 Pepper from the Greenville Police Department, North Carolina. Firefighter Johnny Tetrick from the Cleveland Fire Department, Ohio, and paramedic firefighter Nicholas Theophilus from the Penn Hills EMS in Pennsylvania. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Sweeney. At this time, can we have a roll call to determine quorum, please?
Mr. Angel?
Present.
Mr. Hall?
Here.
Mr. Howell?
Here.
Mrs. Maston?
Present.
Mr. Sweeney?
Here.
Mr. Pepper?
Here.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 6 present.
Thank you. We do have a quorum. As most of you may know, we lost one of our commissioners to the state Senate. So from the election day till the 3rd of January, we'll be functioning with 6 commissioners. So we do have quorum. Need a motion for the adoption of tonight's agenda.
So moved, Mr. President. Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Sweeney. Is there any questions on the motion? If not, can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Angel,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Howell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maston,
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney,
Yes.
Mr. Pepper.
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 6 yeas.
Thank you. This evening's agenda has been approved. We have 6 presentations this evening. The first presentation of Resolution 3958 declaring the month of November 2022 as Native American Heritage Month in Kent County, Delaware. The resolution was approved on November 15th of 2022. And this time we'd like to present the resolution to someone here to accept the resolution. Please come forward and we'll meet you down front.
It's a pleasure meeting, Mike.
I think we've met a couple times.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
How you doing?
it has been a while. I'm doing fine.
Good,
You?
good to see you.
Usually on my shoulder.
Yeah, there you go. Jeff, you want to lead this off, or?
All right. Well, very glad that Chief Coker could join us tonight to celebrate Native American Heritage Month. County wants to recognize that. So whereas we acknowledge that we are gathered today in what was known as Lenape-Hookink, thanks, sir, translated as homelands of the Lenape, and whereas the Lenape are referred to as Delaware Indians, and in recent years been called the first people of the first state, and whereas in August 2016, Governor Jack Markell signed legislation recognizing the Lenape Indian tribe of Delaware as an American Indian tribe, and whereas in 1990, Congress passed and President George H.W. Bush signed into law a joint resolution designating the month of November as the first National American Indian Heritage Month. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Kent County Levy Court Commissioners acknowledge and support National Native American Heritage Month and encourage all residents to honor local Native American cultural heritage during the month of November and throughout the year. Let us honor the historical and ongoing presence of the Lenape tribe and the Nanticoke on this land where we now live, work, and celebrate all our relations. Be it further resolved that this resolution be and hereby is incorporated into the official minutes of the November 15th, 2022 meeting of Kent County Levy Court.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much for being here this evening. Oh, excuse me. Thank you for being here this evening to accept this, and we're proud to have you as part of Kent County. You're part of the makeup of Kent County, what makes us what we are. Yes, so we're extremely proud to have you here this evening, and I'll pass this to Commissioner Angel. And then we'll let you have some words.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess you all know Bruce.
Yeah.
We graduated together, so
Okay.
yeah. But I've known about the Lenape tribe for a while, and then just recently I just found out that my family married into the Cherokee family.
Okay.
So I have some Native Americans also in our family now. So it's great to see that you're keeping the live tradition still moving forth, and we thank you for that.
It's our pleasure to be able to recognize you here tonight, and I'm honored, obviously, because I get to work with Jan Durham at the House of Representatives. So she keeps us up to date with all your activities, but best wishes. Thank you.
Really glad you're here tonight. Hope you appreciate this heartfelt recognition. Fascinating culture, fascinating history, and we just appreciate you. So come back to see us Anytime.
We first met during the aftermath of the Pork Branch Church fire, and gained a great appreciation for your culture and that area. Look forward to helping you in that area in the future. And I know that the state just recognized, set aside some of that area for you, I believe. So I look forward to learning more about that.
Thank you for being here, and I hope this recognition expands people's knowledge in Kent County and Delaware of the historical, what you as your tribe has done for all of Delaware, not just Kent County, but all of Delaware. So I hope this helps. Thank you very much.
Chief Coker, everything the commissioner said, and also just very pleased that this long overdue recognition is happening, and I would hope that it becomes an annual celebration of Native American culture here in the Delmarva Peninsula and around the country. So thank you again for being with us tonight. It's a pleasure meeting you.
So much.
Absolutely, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So I think it'd be nice if you tell us a little bit about your tribe and a little bit about you.
Me?
So yeah, here you go.
I thank you, President Pepper. I'm Dennis Coker, and I represent the Cheswold community. We are a state-recognized tribe, as was stated. We are about 1,000 in number, and we're all very native to the state of Delaware. On my side, for me in particular, and I'm very typical of a lot of our citizens in Cheswold, but both sides of my family, my mother and my father, we can trace their genealogy back to being born in the town of Cheswold as far back as 1765, as far as we can go back in the record. So we're very much a part of the fabric of the Delaware community. And, you know, it was stated that this may be the first recognition, but I would beg to differ, because back in 2002, we got a resolution from Levy Court recognizing the Lenape Indian Tribe of Delaware. And that year, we brought all of the Lenape from across North America to Kent County in celebration of a conference that we held entitled "We Are Still Here." So we had Delawares, as most of them are called now, from Oklahoma, Michigan, New Jersey, Wisconsin, Indiana, Ontario, Canada. So we had a very robust group of Native individuals who visited Kent County back in 2002. So I'm just honored to represent this community. We have a long-standing relationship with the state of Delaware. We actually, when we received our state recognition, we can document that very active relationship back for 125 years. We are a community that had our own Indian schools. So there were 2 actual functioning Indian schools in Cheswold in my lifetime. They were both closed down due to integration back in 1964, I think it was. So I really am appreciative of this opportunity to come and receive this proclamation. And I believe with the work that we're doing in Fork Branch, there will be many opportunities for us to collaborate on some projects. We just received an 11-acre plot of ground at Fork Branch, and Fork Branch is directly behind Deltec Terry campus. We have a couple of cemeteries there, and that was actually the site of the Fork Branch Church, which was a Methodist church that dated back to about 1860. And then we had a school there that dated to 1880. So this is a very special area for us. We're in the process right now of creating an edible forest garden. We are rehabilitating a piece of property that really had been abused and neglected, and we just decided that it was time to set the record straight and help that piece of land heal. So we're creating an edible forest garden, and we have some more work that we're going to be doing in that area. So we're very excited about that.
So is that what the fencing is behind the old church?
That is deer fencing.
Deer fencing.
Yes, we put some guilds in there, and we need to protect them for a couple of years from being attacked by the deer. We had a little cypress tree we put down next to the water last year, and lo and behold, there was a buck around there decided wanted to take a bite with it. And this poor little tree, he didn't stand a chance, so we had to fence him off this year to give him a chance to survive.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that with us. If you can come over here, and we'll get a picture with the resolution.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is Resolution 3967, recognizing the 125th anniversary of the General Federation of Women's Club, Dover Century Club. And Jeff, I'll let you handle this one too. I mean, you brought it forward.
All right. I'm so glad everyone's here this evening. And so Resolution 3967, recognizing the 125th anniversary of General Federation of Women's Club, Delaware, Dover Century Club. Whereas the General Federation of Women's Club, founded in 1897 as a volunteer organization to improve communities and enhance the lives of others. And whereas the Dover Century Club, located at 40 The Green in Dover, Delaware. And whereas the Dover Century Club is the second General Federation of Women's Club in Delaware, organized in 1897 and federated in 1898. And whereas local Kent County clubs have contributed millions of volunteer hours in Kent County, raising funds to maintain clubhouses and support to many programs such as women's shelters, the homeless, the SPCA, Veterans Homes and Funds, the Food Bank of Delaware, Caring Hearts, Helping Hands, the Cesar Rodney and Dover ROTC, Toys for Tots, and many others. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Kent County Levy Court Commissioners acknowledge the 125th anniversary of the General Federation of Women's Club, Dover Century Club, and support its outstanding contributions to Delaware communities. Happy anniversary. Further, be it further resolved that this resolution be and hereby incorporated into the official minutes of the November 29th, 22 meeting of the Kent County Levy Court. Make a motion to approve.
The motion was made by Commissioner Hall on Resolution 3967 to approve, and second by Commissioner Sweeney. And Lori, can we have roll call, please, on the resolution?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Hall? Yes. Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 6 yeas.
Thank you. Roll call reveals Resolution 3967 has been approved by Levy Court. So I know we've got a esteemed group of individuals here. Who wants to accept this, or does everybody want to come and get it?
I would like to accept it with Trish. And Dover Century Club members. Yes.
Come on down. You know, the general public doesn't realize how many organizations such as yourself that it takes to make a successful community. And the time and effort that you all put in on this is just unbelievable, and we're just appreciative of that and everything that you do for Kent County, City of Dover and Kent County. So this is Resolution 3967, and I'll let each commissioner say a few words.
Good to see you folks here. Yeah, I'm glad the weather's not too incompatible. Make it easier, but thank you so much. We do hope you recognize this recognition because it's heartfelt, and we do appreciate it and congratulate you for it.
Yeah, I was very happy to learn about your contributions to our community. And I do want to call out Commissioner-elect Paul Hertz, who did a lot of the legwork, coordination on this. But a fantastic organization, and look forward to working with you. And just appreciate all that you've done for us over the years. And thanks for being here tonight.
Congratulations on 125 years. That's a fantastic benefit to Kent County and all the groups that your group has helped throughout those many years. Thank you very much.
I echo the commissioners. You notice they didn't call my name out for the vote. It's because I don't have a vote here, but if I did have a vote, I would have definitely voted yes for sure. I know, isn't that something? But congratulations on this milestone year, 125 years. Fantastic contributions to the community over many, many decades. And was the Century Club in Dover part of the founding of the Old Dover Day celebration? Was that part of what you carried it on? Yeah, someone lit the flame and you fanned it. That's great. Well, again, congratulations for being with us. And thank you. I'm going to pass this.
Thank you. So it's been a century and 125 years. So are you changing the name to a century and a quarter now?
We're not for sure.
Because I can remember when we were in high school together, you didn't trust anybody over 30 is what we were told back then. And now look at the history of today. You got to remember the history of where you've been so you can fix the problems that you had then and you don't repeat them. So with the Century Club going on now 125 years, I look forward to hopefully being around another 25 years.
Me too.
Me too. So let's hope for the best and pray for more.
Thank you. Thank you. We have a little present for Jeff Hall so that he can learn more about the Century Club. And we appreciate you.
And I also, this is no reflection on, I think you're nuts.
Yeah, congratulations to all of you. You've achieved quite a milestone, and I certainly look forward to hearing about all the good things that you'll be doing in the future.
Could we have the other clubs who joined the Dover Century Club tonight? I'd like to introduce the newest club in the state, and that's Phyllis Milano is the president and organizer of the GFWC Blue Hen Chicks.
Huh.
And Alexander, please stand in. She's the president of the GFWC Roundtable Club of Wyoming Camden. And she's accompanied by Charlotte Lister, many of you know.
Yeah.
GFWC Federation Guild is represented tonight by myself and by Robin Hayes. Robin, would you please stand? And so all of these 9 clubs work together. We work together to make our community and our county much more better.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, Kelly, how can we get a good picture here?
I'd like to get the Dover Club first and then all 9 groups.
Okay.
So we're going to have 2 rows.
Okay. You step forward and we'll hold this up here.
Scoot on down.
We'll hold this together.
Yeah, but we're
Are you playing hooky tonight?
Yes.
Okay. But I want you to get in there.
And I have my phone off.
In 100 years, nobody gonna care.
That's right. In 100
I don't want to have my back to you. You are.
Thank you. Hold still.
Yeah, he's tripped one up.
Thank you all very much.
Your interview on TV was really good this morning. I saw you and Robin on BBC News.
Tributes.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I haven't seen it, oddly enough. We filmed yesterday morning at 9.
See here, do you know?
Was it really?
Darren Jones. I don't think he was going to be here. It seems over here. I don't think Darren was going to be here. It was up here just this second. He was on the wrong side. Thank you, Mark. Lori. Okay, our next presentation for this evening is Resolution 3963. It's the retirement of Darren L. Jones. Lori, do you have a copy of that you can read into the record?
Whereas the retirement of Darren L. Jones, an employee of Kent County, State of Delaware, from his duties as Paramedic 2, Department of Public Safety, Division of Emergency Medical Services, presents a suitable opportunity for expressing the esteem in which we hold Darren L. Jones as a good and faithful public servant. Therefore be it resolved that the County of Kent express its warmest appreciation and thanks to Darren L. Jones for the able and loyal manner in which he performed his public duties. Be it further resolved that this resolution is evidence of a right to the pension provided by the Kent County Employees Retirement Program, and that this resolution be and hereby is incorporated into the official minutes of the November 29th, 2022 meeting of the Kent County Levy Court.
Thank you. This is a resolution, so I need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Maston. Can we have roll call on that motion, please?
Mr. Angel?
He's EMS. We're losing a lot of EMS lately. I don't know if I want to do this. I think our people need EMS people. Don't you think so? Yes. But he has earned it, so yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
I'm like Commissioner Angel. I hate to let him go, but like Commissioner Angel said, he did deserve this. So wish him the best. I don't think Darren's here this evening, so we'll make sure he gets this here in the future. I'll give it to in a year or two. Yeah, you have to be here to
Yes,
officially
so-
retire, right?
Roll call reveals. Pepper, did you say yes?
Yes, I did.
6 yeas.
Thank you. The resolution has passed. The next item is Resolution 3968, retirement of James W. Nunez. And Lori, can you read that, please?
Whereas the retirement of James W. Machado Nunez, an employee of Kent County, State of Delaware, from his duties as wastewater facilities plant operator, is that 4? Department of Public Works, Division of Wastewater Facilities, presents a suitable opportunity for expressing the esteem in which we hold James W. Machado Nunez as a good and faithful public servant. Therefore, be it resolved that the County of Kent express its warmest appreciation and thanks to James W. Machado Nunez for the able and loyal manner in which he performed his public duties. Be it further resolved that this resolution be his evidence of a right to the pension provided by the Kent County Employees Retirement Program, and that this resolution be and hereby is incorporated into the official minutes of the November 29th, 2022 meeting of the Kent County Levy Court.
Thank you. Again, this is resolution. We need a motion and a second.
So moved.
A motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Hall. Roll call, please.
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston? Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 6 yeas.
Thank you. Roll call reveals Resolution 3968 has been approved by Levy Court. Is James here tonight? Not here. Sometimes people hide and I can't really see him. So again, we'll make sure he gets this in a couple years. Okay. Next item. Is Employee of the Month, Timothy D. Mutter. And I know he's here. And Lori, can we have that read into the...
Kent County Department heads have selected Timothy D. Mutter from the Office of the Kent County Sheriff as the December 2022 Employee of the Month. Tim, a deputy sheriff in the sheriff's office, has worked for Kent County since January 2015. Before his appointment as a deputy, he served for 24 years as a police officer with the City of Dover before transitioning to central services for the police department. His primary duties as deputy sheriff include effective service of court-ordered subpoenas, maintaining records of service, conducting property inventory for scheduled sales, as well as maintaining logs and reports for reimbursement. Each day, Tim uses his prior law enforcement skills to judiciously serve subpoenas and other legal documents and avoid or de-escalate negative situations in the field. While citizens are often distressed about a pending court date or property sale, he is able to effectively serve in a courteous, tactful, and impartial manner. According to Sheriff Brian Lewis, Tim has served the sheriff's office well over his nearly 8 years and performed his duties to the highest standards. He always has a positive attitude and a great willingness to help wherever the need is required in the office. He has recently announced his intention to retire next year, and I wish him the very best. Congratulations, Tim, on a job well done. And Deputy Mutter resides in Commissioner Maston's and Pepper's districts.
Okay, can you read the official?
The tribute reads, Kent County Levy Court, December 2022, Employee of the Month, Timothy D. Mutter. On this, the 29th day of November 2022, the Levy Court of Kent County, State of Delaware, does hereby recognize Timothy D. Mutter, Deputy Sheriff, Office of the Kent County Sheriff, for his exceptional initiative, dedication, and conscientiousness in the delivery of services to the citizenry of the county.
Thank you. Tim, well, come on down and bring the sheriff and chief deputy with you. Tim, I'm really honored to present this to you this evening because it speaks a lot about you and what you mean to your peers and the management here at the Levy Court. And so we wish you the best. And I guess we'll probably be seeing you again soon for your retirement. And but hopefully this is a good omen for you, that luck will follow you out the door on your retirement. And maybe you'll get that big check at the employees' luncheon. So congratulations, and happy to be presenting this to you.
Yes, Tim. I know Sheriff Brian Lewis and Chief Deputy Chris White. To be nominated by them alone is an honor. So I know we're going to be losing one of them. But at the same time, you know, you did your job, you did it well, you made us look good too, and that's what we all expect, and that's what you all provide us with, and I want to thank you for that.
Congratulations, sir, on earning your Employee of the Month. I'm very proud of you, and I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you.
Well, Tim, I'm not surprised at all that you got this, okay? Man, I've known you, good night. I think you were in elementary school when we first met. No, not really. You were a cop. You were a cop, yeah. But matter of fact,
several that stopped you.
Yeah. I was going to say. Matter of fact, he arrested me a bunch of times, you know. But just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh, really? Yeah. We'll come up with another nickname for you. But glad for you, and glad you're getting this. I'm sure you deserve it, and we'll see what happens. Okay.
Thanks very much. Appreciate all you've done for the county, and you know, looking forward to being able to retire and have some good years ahead.
Congratulations on this honor. You represent us well. You have one of the jobs that I would not ever want to have in Kent County because of what the sheriff and the sheriff's department provides. But to be recognized as T.J. Hooker and the locks of hair that William Shatner had, that's a good thing. Congratulations. Hopefully we'll see you in next week. Next week.
Tim, congratulations on behalf of your fellow county employees here. You've led a fantastic career of public service, and you're being recognized for that. Your peers are honoring you tonight. This is the type of thing that comes from the employees up to pick the best among them to be recognized. So congratulations on this, and keep up the great work for the next few months.
Tim, thank you for your service. It's been an honor to have you work for me. You've done an outstanding job during my tenure. As you retire next year, I wish you and your family many blessings, and remember to keep the faith. I'm going to hand the mic over to Chief White here, who has worked with Deputy Mutter for many years, and I'm sure he has a lot to say.
congratulations. We've worked together for decades. You're a great guy. How many grandkids do you have now? 17 grandkids. He's an inspiration to all of us. So again, congratulations. Thank you.
Both of you did the motorcycles, didn't you? I thought so, yeah. Wow. There we go. You're all good? All right. Tim, it's your turn.
Oh.
Yeah, I know you're a man of many words.
Oh, yes. Well, start with Chris. When I worked for him, when we worked together, and he likes to always bring up that he carried me when we were working at Dover. But I'd like to think that I got this award for carrying him for 8 years here as my chief deputy. He knows what I'm talking about. No, it's an honor. I appreciate it. It was very unexpected. As a matter of fact, the first thing I thought of when I found out was a passage in Luke's gospel. And this speaks to all of us, I think, as servants, public servants here. It's about the unworthy servants. So you also, when you have done all that you were commanded, say, we are unworthy servants. We have only done what was our duty. And isn't that what we do here together? We do our duty, and we hope to do it well. So it's nice to have the accolade and be recognized for that, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Tim, want to come on up here and hold this together? Never stop. Got it?
Seeing you, that's my
Century Club and Native Americans. I don't want to post those pictures of the flags.
Oh, okay. We're going to have to do a redo here because Kelly, in her detail eye, found that the flags were not properly displayed behind us. So they got moved around during cleaning or something. But so, okay, we can have you folks come back up here, and then Chief will have you come back up too. Hey, come on back up. Come on back up. Huh? Good thing. Yeah. There you go. Put us where you want us. We need to move that way. Move down that way. That's my speed. Look the road. Okay. Forward. All right, thank you very much. Good thing you didn't leave. here twice in one night. Going all out for you.
Touching my heart.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, there's.
That's Christine in the back too.
Yep. Okay, Commissioner Sweeney,
Sure.
being your dress.
I'm ready for it. Yeah, so we have two certificates here. Kent County Levy Court proudly presents this certificate of appreciation to Amy Minner. Amy, come on down. In recognition of 13 years of dedicated support and leadership in the annual Kent County Levy Court Breast Cancer Awareness Month campaign. We also have another certificate of appreciation from Kent County Levy Court to Christina Morton. Also in recognition of 13 years of dedicated support and leadership in the annual Kent County Levy Court Breast Cancer Awareness Month campaign. This is a great event that you guys do every year. I've tried to buy a t-shirt every year, and while I have the mic, I'm going to ask. I need to have somebody's t-shirts from 2011 to 2014 so I can make a quilt. If you have them, can you donate them to me? We're going to have a quilt. We're going to have a quilt. We're going to have a quilt made that we can donate back to the campaign to be auctioned off for more money for next year's campaign. 'Cause it'll take a while for my wife to get it done, but she'll get it done. But congratulations. For most people who don't know this, I did have a breast cancer scare. I had a lump in my breast. It's been around 10 years ago that I had removed, and luckily it was benign. But men can get breast cancer as well. So you're doing a great thing, and we very much appreciate it.
Thank you both for being here tonight and being recognized in this way. As Jody mentioned, you've been faithful in this effort every year for many, many years. I have some T-shirts in my office that and I'll have to see if I have those years, but I can make them available to you for $10 a piece, which I will donate to Breast Cancer Awareness. On a serious note, I have a niece who's suffering with this disease, and so it does hit home. And again, thank you so much for what you do to raise awareness, to promote people getting their screenings and that sort of thing, and for raising money to go back to this great cause. So thank you.
Yeah, this is fantastic, and appreciate your dedication to this. And thanks so much for all you do.
Worthy cause, good people. Great combination.
Well, I think we all know somebody in the family has had cancer, or a friend, or know somebody that has had cancer. And unfortunately, I lost my mother to cancer. So yes, it's very important to me what you do. And thank you both.
You're to be commended many times over, both of you, for all your efforts. I currently have 3 family members, one of which is my granddaughter who's going through breast cancer. So I appreciate everything you're doing. Keep up the great job.
Yeah, you really make Kent County look good with all your efforts. And now, what a lot of people don't realize is Amy does have a bit of stage time, and yeah, and so there's some openings this year at the fair. So, they need some performers. So, if we can get you back on the stage at the fair. I can't understand why your face is turning red. I mean, it was very entertaining. No, I did not forget about that. But Jody, come on down here and. Yeah. But let me hand the mic over to you and take it away.
I wasn't expecting this, so I appreciate you appreciating us. So, but yeah, Christina asked me, and also I'd also Bonnie Voschel, who is retired from here. She was one of the first of us three that started this. But Christina asked me, and I jumped in full force to help her with this. We just did shirts this year, but next year we're going to start the 50-50 back up, which brought a lot of money in, and it's a very large jackpot for the winner. So I think the employees will like that. Thank you very much.
I would like to thank everybody for recognizing us. We did not expect this. We volunteered to do it out of the kindness of our heart. Excuse me. My grandmother passed away from breast cancer, so that's why I got Levy Court to jump on in 2009, and we've been doing it ever since. So, very worthy cause, and we thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. For those of you who don't know what I was talking about Amy, it was a few years ago, she was randomly called out of the audience onto the stage to perform. I don't remember who the comedian was, though. Yeah, I did too. But I didn't forget you being on stage, though. Oh, the young girl, the one with the puppet. Can't remember her name, but yeah, but you did an outstanding job. Everybody appreciated it, especially everybody who knows you. Okay, I think that's all of our presentations this evening. And folks, thank you for bearing with us. It's been about 50 minutes or so that since the meeting actually started, but we don't apologize for recognizing people in our community that do great things and people that work for the county to represent the community that do great things. So we like to do this, and we'll continue to do it. So thank you. Now we'll start on the meeting. Okay, we do have public hearings this evening. The first item is petitions to amend comprehensive plan map and zoning map. Commissioner Sweeney.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Kiefer is here to answer any questions. Unfortunately, for those who are here to give public testimony on this issue, the applicant has asked for a continuance of this application. And Ms. Kiefer, if you could explain what a continuance is real quick, I'll make the motion.
A continuance effectively just delays the hearing. We don't have another date for when it would be conducted. If we do, we'll post again, or we'll send notification out again so neighbors who are interested know. But effectively, it simply delays it because it's less than 24 hours before the Levy Court's hearing. The Levy Court makes the decision whether or not to continue.
So at this time, having heard from the applicant, it is likely that there will be a change to the application. So I am making a motion to have ordinance LC 22-18, an ordinance to amend the comprehensive plan map designation and the official zoning map of Kent County, Delaware, pursuant to provisions in County Code Volume 2, Chapter 205 Zoning, Article 3, Section 205-8 and Section 205-9, and Article 28, changes and amendments effective December 1st, 2000 as amended, to be continued till some point in the future.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Sweeney, second by Commissioner Maston to continue this petition, LC 22-18, to some point in the future. So at this time, need a roll call, please.
Mr. Angel?
I had a quick question I wanted to ask before we got to voting, Mr. President. Is it still possible to ask that?
Sure, go ahead.
Ms. Kiefer, please. Because this is a continuance. Will this go back to RPC then? Because everybody changing what they're...
If the application changes, if the applicant chooses to go a different direction where they're no longer requesting BG, effectively this application will be withdrawn and they will have to create a whole new application, and that will go through the entire process again.
Thank you. I wanted to
You're
get you on
welcome.
record. Thank you. Yes, reason stated by Commissioner Sweeney.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 6 yeas.
Thank you. Roll call reveals this application has been removed from this evening's agenda, and we'll deal with it at a later point. All right, that closes our public hearing for this evening. Old business falls under Commissioner Angel for ARPA funds, follow-up from 11/15/22 Administration Committee meeting.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Pettimaj.
Thank you, Commissioner Angel. I want to inform the commissioners that our consultant, Gina Beinfeld, is on the WebEx line also, and she may join us in the discussion here or answer any questions that may be presented by the commissioners. In your packet, you received a memo from me that was a follow-up to our meeting from November 15th when we had Ms. Beinfeld here, and we went over in detail the utilization thus far of our ARPA funding. And so this memo is a follow-up, and in it, we attempted to capture the main themes that we heard discussed on November 15th. And I'm just going to very briefly highlight what's in the memo, and then I'll turn it back to Chairman Angel for discussion. During that November 15th meeting, there were certain categories. We looked at the prioritization process that we held back in April, and we talked about the main priorities that we've addressed thus far through mostly the nonprofit grant program that Levy Court established this summer, and which closed at the end of October, and we're still processing through a lot of the applications that were received. So now we're looking to revisit the prioritization, and we did a little bit of that on the 15th. And one of the high priority areas next on the list was that of water infrastructure investment. The ARPA funds allow local governments to utilize money toward stormwater and wastewater and potable drinking water solutions. Anything that would qualify for any other type of federal financing could be utilized with respect to water resources. And so from the list of things that we had, we see two categories emerging possibly for Levy Court to consider. One is a stormwater management and drainage projects fund and a wastewater systems improvement projects fund. And so what we're recommending here in this memo is that for stormwater management and drainage projects that Levy Court set aside or budget $2 million of the ARPA funding to be applied to qualified stormwater management and drainage projects that will be identified and brought forward by the Department of Planning Services in conjunction with our partners who manage the stormwater management program here in Kent County, the Kent Conservation District. The second part of this water infrastructure investment would be in our wastewater system, which, as you know, is our main infrastructure that the county manages. And we're recommending that Levy Court appropriate $4 million into a fund for projects to be applied to the capital projects list. And with that, we would have the Department of Public Works and our county engineer identify the specific projects that they wish to direct that funding toward. Next, one of the priority areas that emerged in our various meetings over the course of the past several months is that of some type of relief for civic organizations that suffered revenue loss during the pandemic, and particularly during the shutdown of events and that sort of thing that tend to be their main source of fundraising. And so with that, we're recommending that Levy Court consider developing a grant program similar to what we've done for nonprofit organizations that would provide an opportunity for civic organizations that suffered revenue loss. And that if you concur with this idea, we recommend that we budget $1 million for that program and that we work with Tetra Tech to design the specific parameters around that program to assist our civic organizations. And specifically, I'm thinking of the Fraternal Order of Police proposal that was brought forward, the Dover Century Club proposal that was brought forward, and I think in one of our meetings there was another organization that was mentioned that does good things in the community that suffered loss as well. So that's the third recommendation. The fourth recommendation has to do with building ventilation. That was a theme that emerged. We talked a good bit about that on the 15th of November, air quality in the county facilities. And I reminded commissioners on the 15th that in our current budget, Levy Court appropriated $85,000 for air quality monitoring in our buildings. And I've directed Facilities Management Director Sam Vasquez to initiate the request for proposals process to solicit a firm that could come in here and set up monitoring in all of our buildings to determine what, if any, issues we have. The issues will vary from building to building. And so that from that we could tailor a program for rehabilitation or improvement to our air quality systems in our buildings. And we're recommending that we appropriate $1 million toward that effort as well. So those four recommendations would essentially reserve a total of $8 million of ARPA funding for those various projects. And then the final recommendation here is after the new year in January, after the newly elected officials, commissioners are seated, that Levy Court convene with our consultant a second prioritization exercise in January to reconsider those priorities that are still on the table and to entertain any new ideas that may be presented and some new thinking that may be coming onto the commission here. So, and I've discussed all these recommendations with our consultant and with key staff members, Mr. Cuella, and they're aware of these recommendations. And so that's really what we wanted to offer tonight. This was, we believe, a reflection back on what was discussed on the 15th of November. I'll turn it back to Commissioner Angel at this time, and I just remind you again, Gina's on the line if you have any questions for her. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pettimage. Yes, I agree that we have two members in the audience that will be coming on in 35 days, basically. So I would like them to have a say, look at some of these too. So at this time, what I'd like to do is, we mentioned way back when, and you reminded me about a subcommittee coming forth to look at certain proposals coming forth just in case there's an issue coming up. So that could be under one of these topics, I take it, before it gets to Gina. Was that what the way I understood it? Or is it has to go to Gina first?
I'm sorry, if you were speaking about the advisory committee that we
Yeah, the
talked about
advisory
prior to the
committee,
meeting,
subcommittee.
has nothing to do with this.
Okay.
That's really to review the proposal from the nonprofit grant program from the food bank that exceeds the $500,000 threshold. We agreed that we would set up a subcommittee to review and recommend to the full levy court on those that are important but beyond the scope of what we set. So that's really a separate thing.
Okay. All right. So, President Pepper.
Just for clarification, the bucket of money that these different categories would come under, looks like the majority of them would come from the infrastructure money that the $10 million that the county received.
Well, any of these 4 recommendations for funding could be, we could use either portions of it. We could use the ARPA, they all qualify for the standard revenue loss, the SLFRF portion of the funding, as well as the $10 million revenue loss reserve that we were able to claim. And so there may be portions of this that you may want to direct toward that, like, for example, the ventilation portion that is county-owned buildings. If we want to use that portion of that $10 million toward that, you could. And some of the other things that are more outward-leaning, you may want to use the other portions. But we've discussed this with the consultant, and really, for all of these recommendations, it could be intermixed. It could be a portion of each, really, for both, or for all of them.
Good.
So, I just want to, I guess, put my personal opinion on something to get your all's reaction to it. And we've helped quite a few people with our ARPA funding, and some of them now are looking for new ideas to come back and ask for more money. And until we know what's been spent, what has come back, I think that needs to be put at the end of our list so we continue to help those in need first. If I could kind of get a consensus of that's your thinking, just give me a thumbs up. So it's 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. So we can take care of that and put the new ideas to bed for right now, because they're asking for more money they are received on those issues. But at the same time, staff recommendations, the stormwater management, the wastewater, as been presented, are we okay with that? Thumbs up? Everybody? Good. Okay. The county. Building ventilation. Mike mentioned $85,000 has been put into a study, but it's going to cost more to fix that than $85,000. So whatever that needs to be, we don't have that idea yet. Mike, will we have an idea anytime soon?
We have to begin the monitoring first, and that will take a little bit of time to establish and, collect data about our buildings. So, what kind of issues might be present. They'll put air quality monitoring devices, and they'll probably take samples and lab tests and that sort of thing. So it could be a bit of time before we, what we are dealing with.
Has Sam Vasquez given you any kind of an idea of a ballpark figure? So we can...
Not at this time.
No? Okay. Number 3 would be the workforce housing, veterans, and the Dover Housing Authority. I'm not quite sure. I think this is where we probably would need Gina to give us some input on that. Or do you have it, Mike?
Okay, so you're going to the exhibit on the back, which is one of the slides that Gina, and I included that as reference for the 4 recommended areas, and you skipped over the civic organization proposal. If that's not something we want to do at that time, at this, we can do that. But I just make sure that you're following what was recommended first, and then we can go on to the other list.
Yeah. So the civic organizations, we have $1 million set aside for support for that grant program, like we've done everything else. Is everybody okay with the $1 million putting forth? Thumbs up? 6 up? County, well, the ventilation stuff I just talked about. Staff recommendations for I'm sorry? Okay. So the second part of this will be for our new commissioners that are coming on board, the second prioritization. So they have a say. So we'll hold that off until they come on board. Okay. You can nod there. Thumbs up. 6. Thank you. Okay.
Commissioner Angel, if I may, on that last item, that second prioritization, what we envisioned there was, based on the discussion on the 15th, there were a lot of other things still on the table, and some of those that you started to reference are on that back page, and that would be, I believe, the appropriate time to reconsider them and put them in context with other ideas that might be out there on possible spending areas, so that you get the collective view of a second prioritization for, and that would basically become a blueprint for calendar year 2023 for the balance. And you're going to be at this point, Gina can probably give you the precise number, but if we set aside the $8 million that we just talked about in these, I'll call it like budgetary areas until we determine, there's still a balance of somewhere in the neighborhood of $6 million or so that is totally uncommitted yet. And that will grow probably after we can complete and close out like the nonprofit grant program, because there you designated collectively a total of $8 million for that program. We're not going to spend it all, most likely. It looks like we'll have left over there, and that will get folded back into the balance. Gina, did you have any more precise numbers on that?
Sure. The remaining, there I am. The remaining dollars after this $8 million would total about 5.7. So that would be what would be the subject of the prioritization that you would potentially undergo in January.
5.7?
Yep.
Well, still quite a bit of money there, so, okay. Anything that you want to add to it, Gina, while you're on?
No, I think this makes sense. It seems to have reflected the feedback and discussion. In terms of what bucket, so to speak, they would be taken out of, I would say that probably the only one that would be best out of the main allocation would be the civic organization, that $1 million number. But we can refine all of that as we go forward.
Any further questions? So we're good to move on till January for the new 2 commissioners. Mr. Petermaj?
Yes, I believe so. What we would like to do now with this input, we could take these recommendations, put them in a motion for the future meeting, just to put them on the record that you're establishing this budget. And that's really the way to view it. It's a budget at this point. Just like when we did the other grant programs, the chamber program and the tourism program, we budgeted, we took an educated guess on how much we thought would be needed to support those programs. And you did pretty well. You put aside like $5 million total, 2 for tourism, 3 for small business. We ended up spending about 3.7 of it total. So you had leftover, and that folds back into the balance. And that'll be the same with this 8 million here. We're setting it aside for projects, and we'll use it. If we use it all, then for these categories, that's fine. But if we don't, obviously there'll be balance left over for some other use. So if that meets with your satisfaction, we'll bring back a motion at our next business meeting for just to formalize it.
Everybody okay with that? Thumbs up?
Okay, great.
6. You got it, Mr. Petermash.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you too, Gina.
Of course.
Thank you. Okay, back to you, Mr. President.
Okay, we have no new business. Under other business, I'll put it back to you, Mr. Vice President. And we're going to do both of those.
Okay. Move to go into executive session immediately following the business meeting for a preliminary discussion on site acquisition for a public-funded capital improvement, legal strategy session regarding collective bargaining, or pending or potential litigation and personal matters pursuant to 29 Del Code 10004, B2, 4, and 9.
That's a motion. Need a second. Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Sweeney. Any questions? Seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 6 yeas.
Thank you. The motion passed. Item number 2.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to go in executive session immediately following the committee meetings of December 6th, 2022 for preliminary discussion on site acquisition for publicly funded capital improvement, legal strategy sessions regarding collective bargaining, or pending or potential litigation and personal matters pursuant to 29 Del Code 10004, B2, 4, and 9.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Maston. Any questions? Seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 6 yeas.
Thank you. Motion reveals, roll call reveals, motion passed. Any informational items? Any informational items?
Mr. President, Thursday evening in Dover is the holiday celebration. Begins at 5:30, and Levy Court is slated to sing a Christmas carol like we do every year. I think this year we're singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So far, we only have 3 of us signed up. It was myself, Commissioner Howell, Commissioner Sweeney. I know some folks have some other commitments, but anyone in this room is welcome to join us on stage.
Commissioners-elect are more than welcome to come.
We'll hook you up with antlers and a glowing nose.
And if you don't mind, could you step up to the podium and sing a few tunes for us just to make sure you fit in with the rest of us?
I believe I'm working on Director Coella. Perhaps Trudy would be interested in joining us. Kelly back there. Craig, you're even welcome. Come on now. Lori. So are there any that didn't sign up that know they can make it? Brenda, come on. You just don't want it to be me, Glenn, and Jody, do you?
No.
Okay.
Although we can handle it, can't we, Glenn?
You betcha, man.
I have information.
Okay. Mr. Sweeney.
Also, 7 o'clock Friday night is the Harrington Christmas Parade that right now Commissioner Pepper and I are the only 2 going. Everybody else is invited. Also on Saturday, December 3rd at 1 o'clock is the grand opening of the Wyoming All-Inclusive Park. We gave them $150,000 toward that park. So I think it's at 1 o'clock now. I think it's really important. And since the USA Netherlands game is at 9 o'clock now, no problem getting there at 1.
Okay, any other information? Public comments, any public comments?
Mark, do we have anyone online?
We have no public on the line at this time.
All right. Any commissioners' comments? Motion to adjourn
So moved.
to executive session.
So moved, Mr. President.
Thank you. Everybody in favor? Aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Nope. Okay. We will be adjourning to executive session. We will not be coming back this evening.